Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. All right, welcome back for another episode of Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast with your host, Sylvie. And yeah, this is just me today. And I know you guys have been noticing that there's a lull in the podcast because I used to be like full on 3 times a week, and that was attainable for 2 years until I got a job, and then it wasn't attainable, and then just sort of life. And the podcast has reached over 300,000 people with episodes, but I realized that I want to take this and get it back up and running full steam. And I know there's been kind of a lull. And so that's just what I'm in here today to talk and, just chat about stuff of what's been going on with me. And everything seemed to happen at the beginning of the season, when I went to Unbound and then I came back and did the Ride to Conquer Cancer. I put those episodes up for the race reviews and, just been really reflecting a lot on those over the last couple months. And then I'm trying to get up my race report for my event as an event organizer. Did first women's only gravel race here in Wakefield, and it was amazing. Had such great reviews. So stoked about building it into something bigger and better. As I mentioned, totally motivated to be doing a women's cycling or gravel festival here, just like in the States. Why not, right? So would it also be totally crazy that I have my 2024 calendar already? Yeah, it's funny. I just wrote it up. And now it's time to start thinking about what I'm going to be doing for training and the whole training program that I had online this year. What's it going to look like? How's it going to reflect our goals for the winter and what I want to achieve through the winter, what my potential clients want to achieve through the winter? How's it going to look? So the funny thing is that one of the things this summer is because I haven't been strength training in almost a year, and it's starting to show. Won't lie, things are getting a little tight. Muscles are starting to disappear that I once had. So I actually joined a gym, and I'm super stoked about it. Like, I didn't think getting back into the gym for me would be a reality because I stepped away from the gym about 5 years ago. I started training at home with all my equipment, but I just honestly have just lost motivation to do stuff here at home. And I've been starting to crave like just lifting weights, like doing leg squats in a cage, doing leg presses mostly. I've been really missing the leg press machine. And just not necessarily getting out within like being out in the gym because there's other people around, but just the gym atmosphere, the equipment, things of that nature. And So I joined Anytime Fitness, and if anybody wants a recommendation, you can use me as a referral. And just an FYI, there's referral bonuses for referring your friends to Anytime Fitness. It's totally worth it. So Anytime Fitness, and it's anytime, which I like. So you get a key fob. All the fees are pretty realistic because like you come in with one fee and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you got this fee and that fee. You got to pay for the key fob and you got to pay for a yearly da-da-da. I'm like, okay, really? But anyways, it was totally it was totally doable and not over the top expensive. Plus, they have multiple locations all over Gatineau. And so, what I did as a mom, I started to fit it in. So I was like, okay, my son trains for football. He's 11 years old. He trains for football twice a week. And I like to kind of go out and watch him, but I don't want to watch for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that there is an Anytime Fitness location not very far from the field that he trains at. So it's like, you know what? What if I were to bike to my gym, work out for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then bike to football, watch him for about an hour or 45 minutes, connect with the other moms, because that was another thing that I kind of wanted to do, is like just get to know the other moms on the team and start building a cohesive parent group, because along with the kids being cohesive and working as a team, I think it's super important that the parents are like that too. But I'm not ready to sit there for 2 hours and waste that time just watching my son and gabbing, to be honest. So I was like, okay, how can I optimize at least half of that time and go do something for me and then come back and network? So that's what I did. And that's what I'm doing. And that's basically when I get out to workout is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and one other day of the week. So it's just started. So I'm feeling myself out as to where it's realistic for me, because there's lots of other things going on. I still have my evening coaching with my one-on-one clients. But parents, men and women, if you guys are listening and you're wondering how you can fit it all in, you can fit it all in. If you got kids, fit it in. Like, you don't have to sit there and watch your kids from the start to finish. You don't. Like, literally, they probably prefer that you don't watch them, and so would the coaches. So go do something for yourself. Go for a bike ride. Go for a walk. Go join a gym. Organize something that correlates at the same time so that you're not, wasting that precious time for you. Anywho's, so that's what I'm doing. And if that helped you maybe get motivated to get yourself moving in the direction for you, I'd love to hear it. Always looking for any comments on the YouTube channel or under the, I think it's referrals, or not referrals, but you can write reviews or testimonials on your podcast platforms. And so you can put questions there too. I haven't, and that's where I can go and find them. But I prefer YouTube or the Instagram. Now, so I'm in the gym the other day, and I just I was just overwhelmed with oh my God, motivation to really put a lot of work into strength training for cycling. And as you know, through the other episodes that I've talked about how important strength training is, it can be one of the key factors that are going to get you to the next fitness level, improve your performance, whatever that looks like. Some people are just like, I don't want to be fast. Yeah, but don't you want to get just a little bit better? And strength training doesn't only work for your cycling performance, but as women, as we age, we need it to keep our muscles strong. Would you not agree? Like, so cycling cardio is great, but cardio does not build muscle. Okay, like true muscle. And we need a lot of upper body muscle, core muscle to reduce fatigue on the bike, right? And be able to power up those hills. It doesn't come from just intervals, it comes from strength training. So I just was overcome with like emotion of like, oh my God, this feels so good. And I'm just so motivated to go back next year and do like a better showing at, Unbound. Like, honestly, I could have finished that course, but I didn't. And, as much as you think about it, you might as well just not think about it. But I'm going to go back for one last hurrah and the motivation. I'm going to do the 350 miles, and because it's just in my wheelhouse. I don't want to be fighting for position within like 2,000 people on a start line. It's just not what I want to do. I like to be the solo rider, and so I'm going to be doing another road trip like I did last year, and I'm just starting to think about how I can incorporate my family into there where it doesn't interfere with what I'm doing, because that's kind of like, it's great to have family around for big events like that, but really I like to stay in the zone. And, but I also like to share with my family what I'm doing. So I'm starting to think about, how can we do this, and have the family like join me, say right after, like fly into Kansas City, and then we can go camping, like what I did, like on my way back to Toronto. And I can go visit family while I'm doing the Ride to Conquer Cancer, because I did think about dropping that, but honestly, I really am starting to enjoy the charitable side of events and fundraising for cancer. Like, my mom had breast cancer. We all have somebody who has passed because of cancer, I'm pretty sure, or have known someone, right? I don't think that there's anybody that's not touched by cancer. And so what I love about Ride to Conquer Cancer is that it's local. Princess Margaret is one of the top 5 leading cancer research centers in the world. It's local, and so all the money goes right there. And that's a big motivator. And also working within a big organization. Where are you going?
We're not leaving now. We're leaving in like a few minutes.
Oh, are you going shopping? Oh, well, I want to go shopping later on in the week. But anyways, so it's my daughter. Say hi, Katya.
Hello.
She's my little paddling girl. They're going shopping. So yeah. So the charitable side, and plus also being on a corporate group, was super exciting this year. And if you're listening and you'd like to join, you have to reach out to me, because there is a fundraising component. So you have to fundraise a certain amount, and you can start in the fall. So it doesn't seem daunting. You got like 6 months to raise, your portion is just $2,500, and it's totally doable. So, and you can join me, join Scotiabank team. The cool thing is that you're with a big team. They also have a corporate tent. Like, you get lots of perks for joining a corporate team. So if you're interested and you're listening to this, reach out to me. Reach out to me, and we'll stay connected until the time starts where the new teams are created for 2024, where the new profiles are starting. And for the Ride to Conquer Cancer. So you get your profile, your account, and then with that, you join the team, and then you start fundraising. So, I didn't organize anything last year, and I'm not sure if I have time, but starting early is always super beneficial. So that's kind of one of the other things. And I found this event, and it just sort of popped up on Facebook because it happened last week, and I kind of heard of it, but I was like, I don't really know. Nobody really knows what it is. But it's another long endurance gravel challenge, backpacking challenge. So it's called Gravel Backpacking Challenge, just like that. The GBC 500. So it's 500 kilometers. And the beautiful thing about it is it's in Quebec, around Magog. So Memphis, Magog, Eastern Townships. Grew up, I did a lot of cycling there, a lot of downhill skiing, racing in that section. It's super hilly, but it's super beautiful. And that just happened last weekend. So that finished up my calendar, I think, for next year. And the thing is, it's local, so I don't have to travel very far. It's like 3 hours away. And there is a 250 kilometer option, and you can do it solo or in a team. So that's my lineup. You want to hear my lineup for next year? So it's Barrie-Roubaix in April, Unbound in June, Ride to Conquer Cancer in June, my Wakefield Gravel Women's Race, July 7th, and the Gravel Backpacking Challenge in August. Yeah? And probably Halliburton, something in the fall. I'm going to put something in the fall, but I feel that that's kind of spaced out. And like I said, I'm going to try and figure out something as to how I can get my family down to Kansas after the event, and do some camping out there. But like for this year, our family, we're going to Australia for 6 weeks, Australia and New Zealand over Christmas. So that is the big money burner, right? So I can't really think about anything too big besides that. But that's almost booked right now, which is good. We're going to see family as well. And that's one of our motivations to go to Australia, was we're going to see my husband's sister who lives there, and she's got kids. So the kids are going to see the cousins, and it's going to be so much fun. But back to training. So it's just like what I know now about long endurance and how I can get better at it. And the one thing is that I'm not like super obsessed about doing long distances, because literally I don't have time. And a lot of us are in that situation. So how do we effectively do that and train and be able to get into long endurance? I'm not saying any of you are even remotely interested in doing that, but I find that it's really more about mindset. And can you endure pain? A lot of pain, a lot of solo moments where you're by yourself. Sorry, I'm super thirsty. But how can you get through that? Like, even if you're coming out and you're starting your first event and it's like 50 kilometers. 50 kilometers to you is like 500 to me. And it's all the same. How are you going to train for that? How are you going to get yourself prepared physically, first and foremost, then mentally? For me, I find the best way is to be just uber prepared, like with gear. Like, just make sure everything is prepared for the event, like your bike, your gear, like you're not running around trying to find everything. Like, you start like literally a month ahead of time getting stuff together if that's what you need. And I find that doing that You just enter these events less stressed and really ready to perform and just ride your bike over like leaving everything to the last minute and trying to locate stuff. So, I look at some friends who have back to back things, like they're just pushing themselves way beyond what they're capable of. Plus, let's say plus family, plus business, plus work. And another thing is I'm looking for a job. Yeah, I'm looking for a 9 to 5 corporate job, and for September. So that there is just one of the things that's motivating me to move forward too. Need the money, I won't lie. I left my serving job because of various reasons. Well, one, I was there for a year and I'm like, okay, I just need to move on. Another one, there's a lot of mental abuse, like verbal abuse in that job, that I wasn't obviously okay with. I have a pretty thick skin, but over time, you decide that your self-worth is way more and way more important than listening to this person scream at you. Just, in a hotel environment, there's a lot of moving, hotel restaurant, there's a lot of moving pieces. And so in the hotel restaurant business, there's a lot of moving parts. Like you have the night staff, the day staff, you have housekeeping, you have maintenance guys, you have the whole kitchen staff, you have people working on weddings. So there's a lot of moving, and the thing is that not everybody is working in as a team. And that's the unfortunate part, because we are a team. Everybody's a teammate, because what I do affects the next one, affects the next person, and what they do affects me. And so when you have one group who thinks that they're better than everybody else and that they can treat everybody else in a different way, then you get unbalance and unease. And it's unfortunate, because you have one person who is the leader, and and then everybody leads by example, like follows the leader, right? And so if she's toxic, then everybody else is really like toxic, because they just give it right down the whole line. And so I just decided that I didn't need that anymore. I mean, serving, literally you can make $45,000 to $60,000 a year. That's a pretty good job. If you want to do like work daytime, corporate events and things like that, no joke. It's a no-brainer job. You can make lots of money. Like last fall, I made $15,000 in like 3 months. That's pretty good. That was a lot of money. That was a lot of work. But work brings money. So that's kind of where I am right now. Making shifts, making changes, looking at next year, thinking about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to plan my training, my coaching, opening that up for new clients, starting to take registrations for the winter program. What's that going to look like? That's that. That's what I'm doing right now. And it's exciting and it's scary. And, so that's just had to share that with you guys. I'd love to know what you're thinking. I know you might not be finished your season, but I'm pretty sure you're looking to next year. What can you do? What can you add to the schedule? How are you going to train? What's that going to look like? What's your training going to look like to get you to your final goals? all those fun things. So yeah, please share them with me on YouTube, like I said, or Instagram, the Secrets of the Saddle podcast, and let's cheer each other on. So with that, have an amazing day, everybody, and yeah. So share. Let's see if we can help each other out, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss another episode. I got some really awesome episodes coming down the pipeline, and yeah, we'll maybe see you online. Take care. Have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day. Make sure you ride your bike. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.